Greetings and Sat Nam, friends. I am coming to you with this amazing energy that is streaming to our planet right now. Part of it is this lunar eclipse that is coming on Sunday. The lunar eclipse for California is going to be hitting around 11:05 a.m. It is the sun and the moon at 15 degrees, sun in Virgo, moon in Pisces. This lunar event is asking us to connect to being able to receive from our higher self, receive from our guardian angels, receive from the Creator, this next iteration of who we are. And this is going to be done through self-love, the practices of self-love, through listening to our innermost self, through taking good care of ourselves, and mining the mind, paying attention to the way we think. This is what's opening us up to receive this new chapter. The biggest signature of what we call the eclipse portal, which started back on August 27th with, or was it 23rd, with the new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees. It's interesting that this is so evenly placed. 0 degrees, new moon, Virgo happened. Now we're at 15. And then the last new moon, we're going to have 2 new moons in Virgo, will be at 29 degrees. This axis, this human lesson, started at the beginning of January, and it's going to go all the way to end of July 2026. This is about getting us and to open up to God more, to know that there is a heavenly creator and that this creator is a loving force and is opening up a new human. It is using the good parts of Virgo to have strategy and development and consistency, and I would even say prudence in how you take care of your mind, body, and soul in order to make that God connection. However, it is dampening down on the not so beneficial characteristics of Virgo, which is judgmental, seclusion, being overly controlling. These things have been what has kept you from being the best part of who you are. Now, beyond this, what I'd like to say, I'm going to be doing a video where you can see me next week, and it's going to be about Pluto. And it's very interesting what's going on. What I want to say right now is that humanity is in a huge change. And because you do meditation and Kundalini yoga and these practices, you have developed a new version of yourself. It is already here. So this portal might be, or it already has happened, something was ripped out of your life. Something has to go. It could be like something visible as far as a breakup in a relationship, or a loss of a job, or a loss of a friendship, or a loss of an account that you use to make money. That could be it. Or that in itself is not really the big thing. The big thing is the loss of being able to continue on thinking and being the way you have been. And this has been in the works from the beginning of this year. This has been in the works from the beginning of this year, but other things in the past 2 years have been building a new ego that supports your soul. So the bottom line, what I'm trying to say, is you're not who you used to be. However, it can feel a little bit like you are different, you are thinking different, and you're still on the old movie set you used to be in. So the environment around you has not completely upgraded. So it can feel like in some way you're an alien in your own life. Be patient, be loving, trust the Creator, and trust your soul. Make time in nature and in silence and stillness to ask your soul, what's going on? How am I doing? How can I support you, my soul? You're letting your ego have a conversation with your soul. In this stillness, your soul can reveal to you the places where you need more love and more attention. We really are being cleaned up. We're able to honestly look at our selfishness and our judgment. And when the soul presents these things, it doesn't feel shameful. It feels like, yeah, I see that. And it also has so much compassion, so much mercy and love for you, and also the way to finally let those behaviors go. No, we're never going to be perfect, and that's not the end game anyways. But you have upgraded. So I'd like for you to think of this. It's not so much a moral issue. We're not being asked to be good. We're not being asked to be better versions of ourselves. You simply are a better version of yourself. It's simply that way. It does have to do with some magical stuff like timeline shifts, dimensional shifts. Because of the work you've done, your frequency does not vibrate on the frequency that was more entrained to fear and anxiety and people in your life that don't support you. If you relax into it, what you're going to notice is most of the things are just going to naturally slip away. But it still feels weird. I don't think I've ever been happier in my life, more happy or satisfied. I have never felt more confident or abundant. I love me and I love you. I love this earth and I love God so much. But it's weird because there are some sacred cows that Marcia, Mahanraj Marcia, has definitely hung on to her whole life that my soul just said, yeah, let's let that go. Yeah, that doesn't matter anymore, right? And it's these new combinations of versions. There is, I think, for each of us, a new pathway to connecting with God that's opening up. And it's very Aquarian. It's very eclectic. Like many of you have heard, I went back to the Catholic Church, but I would never just consider myself a Catholic. Kundalini yoga fundamentally is my medicine, but it isn't my church, right? It literally is energetic medicine that has helped me have less anxiety, quieted down my nervous system, helped me open up to my heart and be more in love with my life. So that's the medicine. And then Catholicism has some esoteric wisdom I really enjoy, but I've had to dig deeper. And I'm just sharing with you my journey. For me, Jesus is Yeshua. Magdalene is Miriam Magdalene. And these two are a part of this group called the Essenes, which are very Kundalini-like. My point of telling you all this is not so that you do it, but more that you may be, in fact, I'm certain you are, being invited into specific lanes of spirituality that have spiritual sustenance and spiritual medicine that your soul needs you to take right now for one fundamental reason. We are opening up to gnosis in the biggest way we ever have. We are opening up to gnosis with our higher self. So if we had a spiritual anatomy, we would think of the soul. We feel it right here in the solar plexus and heart. It's inside of us. But above our head, about a foot, is what is called a higher self point. Now, this part of our spiritual anatomy is not encased in human flesh, and it is in pure God consciousness. And this part of us connects to our soul monad. You might want to think of your soul monad as a piece of a quilt, a square in a quilt where you came from. Yes, it's connected to the quilt of the Creator. But the squares that are around your square are literally your spiritual family. That's why some of us really resonate with Yeshua. Others really resonate with Buddha. Others really resonate with nature. There is a path to your greatness. And in this Aquarian age, we are really coming to understand that it isn't important that we all have the same path. But what is important is we know that God is good and that every human being that God has created is the Creator's child. And they, in fact, are good also. And it doesn't matter if our paths have different ingredients as long as we end up in that same point of love, that place where love and light reign. You are becoming more light than flesh. That's part of this big transition. There is an awakening going on, and I'm going to speak about that because we can really get into the timing and the task and the gifts that it's going to bring. And I'll do that next week on September 11th when Pluto goes into the underworld. But for now, make the most of this weekend. Make sure you take time for a bath, or if it's too hot where you are, go into the ocean. Use water, Pisces. Let the waters baptize you. Let the waters cleanse you of all doubt and fear so that you can be totally present in right here, right now. And I got a great suggestion for you. Tony and I are teaching together on Sunday for the full moon in Pisces and the lunar eclipse. We're going to be teaching at 9:30 to 11. So at the close of class, this portal will be exact. I'm so excited to be teaching with my husband and to be sharing these gifts with you. We are all preparing for the next new moon and also the equinox, which, if you come to Great Divine Flow or a follow of me, Marcia Mahanraj, we are going to be doing a beautiful, strong Kundalini activation for the equinox to really heal our souls and give ourselves a sense of security and possibility. And we're going to start a 40-day meditation. This meditation is going to be in direct alignment with the energies that are going on at that time. Also, because it is the lunar eclipse, I'm offering a special on my readings, 20% off all readings. Whether it's a 15-minute recording and I make it and send it to you, or I'm also offering that 20% off on my half-hour and 45-minute readings. You can text me if you want more information. I will definitely put it in the newsletter. And just know, this is a magical time. I know there is so much darkness, but I want you to open your heart and realize, guess what? There is so much light also. Sat Nam, have a great day.